Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Cloud Imperium are really pushing forwards with Star Citizen 4.1, plus we saw 2 new vehicles revealed. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys, so thank you so much for the support. It is truly appreciated. So since my last video covering Star Citizen 4.1, there has been 4 new PTU patches, one of which brought 2 very new cool vehicles slated to release when 4.1 goes live. Talking of live, I suspect that 4.1 will go live next week. They're really crunching through, optimizing, bug fixing, resolving issues, so get yourselves ready. Now, today we will briefly run through the patch notes, all 4 of them. They will be combined into this one video, plus we will briefly speak about the new vehicles, which I will likely do a more dedicated video for each of them once they release, as I have yet to actually get my hands on them. Also, the TOBII Eye Tracker 5 is now back on sale at 15% off, and using that link below will take you to that deal, while also providing my channel with a direct kickback, helping to support my work. So thank you in advance to all of you who have used it so far. I really appreciate it. Right, let's start with these 2 new vehicles, kicking off with the new Argo Atlas Geo. Now, this vehicle I was not expecting to see at all, but I am very happy that it is now coming for 4.1. Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, the Geo is a variant of the base Argo Atlas, which is a cargo tractor version, and the Geo will allow players to now mine both FPS and rock or ground vehicle minables at the touch of a button. It also uses these 1/8 SEU boxes by having them manually loaded into essentially the Geo's backpack, getting them filled up with ore. You can take them out, load in a new one, and get that filled up, which is a really good concept and use case for these 1/8 SEU boxes. Also on the backpack, we will now be able to attach a multi-tool underneath, a dedicated tractor beam or weapon, I guess, on one of the sides, and a mining gadget on the other side. So I assume the gadgets can be used maybe on ground vehicle minables now, otherwise there isn't much benefit for a Geo being able to carry them outside of, I suppose, supporting a mining ship. But the one thing that really stands out about this new Geo miner is the fact that it has jump jets, so thrusters that have limited burn time, allowing players to jump and hover, reaching higher locations, or even softening a fall over a long distance. Now, this is amazing on many levels. Firstly, it's just damn cool, but also handy for reaching difficult locations, and a great sign that for the future, we as players may see this kind of thing coming along to take the place of a parachute-style solution, being able to jump out of atmosphere before you hit the ground, blast your jump jets, and then land safely. So a good sign that that might be something we will see come along soon. And on a side note, I do think a medical variant with this kind of functionality would be pretty helpful, being able to get to injured players or NPCs who might be in difficult to reach spots, as we often do die in very unusual locations. Either way, this is a fantastic addition to the game that will certainly have me out mining more. Now, we also saw the new small solo mining ship from Drake being the Golem. This is a starter profession ship, and likely going to be a little bit cheaper than the Prospector, offering 32 SEU capacity and a bespoke mining laser that seems to extend out from above the cockpit, which looks a bit funny, but if it does the job, it's fine. Now, this ship is a single-seat vehicle without an interior, so not something you will be out mining for a long duration, like days on end. You will fill up and then unload or return home. And as it states, it is a no-frills, function-over-form vehicle and an entry into ship mining. Now, personally, it is great to see the mining profession get a lot more love with this patch, as I have not mined in a long time. And this, plus with Colo now giving more reason to go mining other commodities outside what is the most valuable, I will be picking this profession back up again. Now, I will probably stick to the Prospector for ship mining for the time being, until we see a true rival from another manufacturer. But yeah, I really like how many updates are coming to the mining profession, splitting the ground and FPS mining, because when we get updates to the economy, to crafting, to base building, and missions requiring us to go get specific resources, having this range of choice on how we go about doing it is going to be so fun. Anyway, we will move on from the new vehicles for now, as they were only in the one build for a short duration, and they have been taken out again. I haven't played with them myself, I haven't been able to gather any footage, hence the lack of footage, but we will most definitely take a closer look at them when they release. Now, onto the patch notes. In a recent patch, not these 4 patches, but the new missions updated for meshing have been opened up for feedback, and this brought with it the handyman missions, which are in Pyro only, medical beacons, courier missions, which are the 1/8 SCU box delivery missions, the 890 jump mission, and the Prison 02 missions. These have all been updated to work with server meshing, but it seems like they are having some issues with a few of them, which we will speak about in a minute. Now, for features and gameplay across all 4 patches, in locations, Wickillow's location has had a lot of polish. It has been made into an armistice zone, then the green zone was removed for FPS weapons in the hangar, but ship weapons and self-destruct is disabled. They have also moved his base location further away from the planets, and personally, I really love the Banu's home. We spent a good amount of time walking through all of the things on display, talking further about what each item is. Plus, there is a character in there who, if you're a veteran of the game, you will probably know and love. Be sure to watch my Wednesday stream to learn more about what is on display there. Lots of Easter eggs, old and new, but of course, if you don't want any spoilers, then you might want to wait till live. Now, for the Hathor locations, again, a lot of polish throughout the 4 patches with optimizations, audio, visual effects, and damage polish, plus much more with every patch. Really hoping the Hathor locations play a lot smoother now, because like with most new points of interest, when they are introduced for the first time, they are very poor on performance, just killing the frames until they have had enough polish and optimizations. For these locations, I am most excited to be hitting them in the live PU, outside of missions, so getting organized and working together as a crew, taking our time, maybe even with a tonk or 2, that would be kind of fun. In AI, the juvenile Valakar have also had a lot of work done to them throughout the 4 patches, with more polish to animations, underground movement speeds, their hearing and vision perception ranges, and much more. A great new creature. Was a lot of fun seeing these popping up on Daemar. I presume they also pop up on Monox in Pyro, but I don't know if they're found on Aberdeen or anywhere else, so do let me know if you have seen them anywhere else. Whether or not the Adult or Apex are going to come in with 4.1 is yet to be seen. Probably not, but it would be a very cool surprise if they did. Now, also for AI, there has been a lot of further work done to NPC dynamic conversation lines, with more getting added and more polish. In gameplay, item recovery has had a few items excluded from this Tier 0 system, which include the Marok Gem and Copian Horns, and any Wakillo favors no longer being recoverable. Of course, you can go and pick them up from your body, but they won't spawn back with you. They have also increased the minimum reward for the Prison 02 repair mission, made adjustments to the loot crate and medical crate boxes. They've also disabled the animal kill contracts, handyman missions, and many location courier missions. Now, I have no idea why they were removed or disabled, outside of the obvious reason being there was something wrong with them, and they weren't working as intended. So really hope that they can get those fixed and reopened before going live. Now, for ships and vehicles, they have greatly increased the Argo SRV fuel storage from 4 to 28.5 SEU. This was bound to happen. The nature of the ship is it needs much more fuel than others in its general class, as it is a recovery vessel, so happy to see that being catered for. There has also been a lot of audio updates for ships, increasing the audio standard on a handful of ships, with new thruster and ambient sounds, including the Corsair, the Cutlass, the Arrow, and the Lightning ships. Not sure if any of this is the new Star audio, or if it is just general tweaking and polish to the audio, but either way, I'm sure it is all part of the same system to some degree. Plus, they have removed the unintended second fuel tank from the RSI Mantis, which makes sense. Now, they have fixed the Corsair gun loadout, where it had the wrong guns by default, and now it has the intended new loadout being 4 size 4s and 2 size 5s. And in weapons and items, the Volt rifle has had quite a bit of sound effects polish. They have also improved the Volt's recoil, mostly regarding a bug with being unable to pull it down during the beam state. They have also fixed the spread being persistent when aiming, alongside some visual effect impact updates. And then for the FS9, they have increased its projectile speed from 400 to 600, which is quite a difference. And then finally for Cortec, they have updated the loading and splash screen, with the new loading screen having updated the news broadcast information, heavily focused on the regeneration tech issues, as we've heard, leading to a new event, probably once the Hathor event has finished. How long that will last, I don't know. It could be until 4.1.1 goes live or 4.1.2, but very interesting in seeing what this will involve. It probably requires some resource gathering for medical supplies, is my guess, amongst maybe rescuing others, I don't know, but hopefully it leads to some updates to the medical profession, to the medical process. That would be really cool. Now, for bug fixes across all 4 builds, there were 25 potential fixes, and as of the latest build in known issues, we have 5 in total, 3 of which are critical and 2 are high, but no blockers anymore. So there you have it. Some great continuous progress getting 4.1 ready for live. They are pushing hard with this patch. It has a lot of very cool features, plus tons of tweaks and adjustments in all areas, and still heavily focused on improving that playability and stability, which is certainly key to getting Star Citizen into that better state for this year. With that said though, I will be jumping on stream today, most likely on 4.0.2 live, doing some resource gathering, getting some gear like FPS weapons stored in my hangar for my AUG, ready for when 4.1 drops. At this time, there is still no plans of a wipe from what we have heard. I don't expect one, so fingers crossed that is still the case. They've said they don't want to wipe for the foreseeable. Hopefully, there are no bugs that remove ship components or weapons that you have bought or salvaged. That was a bug that caused that, and I really hope that doesn't happen again, because that is a big problem. But with that said, if you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. Also, be sure to check out my camping channel. Got a new camp planned for early April, which will obviously go up on there. The link is below. By all means, come and join us over at twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother or here on YouTube. I will be live today. You are more than welcome, whether you are a veteran or brand new to the game. If you've got any questions, by all means, come and ask. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, it does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you'd like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, a huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Cannot do this without you guys. Take advantage of that TOBII sale if it is of interest to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.